and it is officially time to start. It is 5:30 p.m. UK time. Welcome, guys. And just a bit of introduction, just in case everyone was completely new to me and you've got no idea what I'm doing. So basically, with those Monopoly tours, we roll the dice together live on the board, at home usually. And wherever I end up on the Monopoly board, I have to take you there, to take you on a little tour. Welcome, Michelle. And through those tours, we look at property prices in the area. Today it's a bit of a special one because technically we are not on a Monopoly location because I ended up on Waterworks. So I decided to find a location that is somehow connected to water at work. And you probably won't see that until the end of the tour, but at the end of the tour I'll show you a place where quite literally water works, or water used to work. But let's go, let's flip this camera around. I mean, a little graveyard here, they've removed the graves, it's now used as a little park. So you might see some of the graves against the wall there. That's what they do when they remove them, because they do not want any unstable graves anyway in the middle, because they don't want kids to play on the graves and then the graves to be able, well, the gravestone to be falling on them. And this was a charity school. When you see those little blue coat characters, they're quite typical of the charity schools from the 1700s. Anyway, let me tell you where we are. We are in the area of Wapping. So Wapping is named Wapping because of the dead pirates that used to be hanged here. Because when they used to hang the pirates, they left their bodies there on the beach area of the River Thames, and they would let the tide come in and out to metaphorically wash their bodies away from their sins. And they used to get a bit bloated, so they were then called whoppers. And eventually it became Wapping. So that's why. So we're quite central. We're just outside of the city, really. We're just outside of the Tower of London. Excuse the umbrella in the frame, just need to go through the door. And this is the town of Ramsgate. This is one, if not the oldest pub in the area. They're quite competing between the town of Ramsgate and the prospect of Whitby on the other side. Some claim that this lovely little pub here could be as old as 1460. Not the building itself, of course, but the pub license and the pub itself. It is debatable. We don't know for sure if it's really that old, but it's definitely quite old. And if any of you were born in the 80s, you might remember a movie called The Bounty, about the mutiny on the Bounty. Well, allegedly, this is where, I'll cross over again, this is where Captain Bligh, he was the victim of the mutiny, and Christian Fletcher, they had their last drink before to go on that voyage. Does any of you remember the movie? Mel Gibson was playing Fletcher. And when did we talk about Bligh? We talked about Bligh last week. When we went into Deptford, we saw, you might remember, we saw the grave of Mididi, a Tahitian that was brought back from Tahiti. And the mutiny, for the ones that don't know, it's basically they were on a trip to Tahiti and they had to stay there a few months because they were trying to plant breadfruit to bring it back, to basically plant it in the Caribbean to feed the slave, sadly. And they had a mutiny on board. The men got a bit too keen on Tahiti and the Tahitian woman, and they didn't want to go back. And they basically refused to obey their captain, and they put the captain on a tiny little boat. And funnily enough, they survived, which was quite unlikely, but yeah. Oh, Fletcher was from where you are. Oh, amazing. That's quite cool. So you might see some of those beautiful buildings that they used to be warehouses at the time of the docks. And by the way, about the prospect of Whitby, you might also have heard of Judge Jeffrey. He was known as the hanging judge. He basically would hang anyone. And after the Monmouth rebellions, he basically convicted everyone to hanging. And he tried to escape. And allegedly, this is not... It's debatable, but allegedly that's why he was caught in that pub. He was trying to escape on a boat. He went for a last drink in that pub without his wig or anything. So he was not, he didn't want to be recognized, but some people that he had convicted, they recognized him, and then he was taken to the tower where he died. He was not beheaded. He died of, I think it was kidney failure. He had some problems with alcohol. Anyway, this beautiful, today they're used as balconies. They would have been used to carry the cargo. You know, they would have been used to roll down those big barrels. At the time of the docks, barrels would have been used for anything really. You know, you'd stock sugar, rum, anything could be stored in a barrel. And the docks, London, I know London, it's not that obvious today, but London is a port city. It has pretty much always been. It is the very reason why the Romans, they settled here. And welcome, Catherine. There's a lot of estate agents here, but I'm not going to show you the windows because I don't want you to have an easy job guessing. There's another one here, Foxton. If anyone from Foxton is watching us today, I am looking for sponsors. So yeah, one day you might want to sponsor me when I do those Monopoly tours. Or any of other estate agents. Anyway, so we've got, so yeah, I don't want to show you the windows because I'm going to get you to guess the prices. And guess what? I've got a property right here in this building. So you'll have to bear with me. I'm going to have to get my second phone to show you the photos, and with the umbrella it's not that easy. So this is a flat share. So you've got one bedroom for rent, one bedroom living with a stranger. And I think this one you've got your own bathroom. So that's quite cool. You'd have to share the kitchen and everything, but you've got your own bathrooms. So we're looking for a monthly rent for one bedroom in this building. How much would you pay? Let me show you the photos. So it's rather nice inside. How much would you pay monthly rent for one bedroom? So remember, you have to live with a stranger. Let us know in the chat what you think. Oh, Mike, you're quite close. Trish, a little bit too much. Laurie and Mike, you guys are getting really good at this game. Ronilyn, you're not too far either. Wow, you guys are quite spot on. Yeah, well done, Susan. I think you nearly. I'll show you the answer. So it is 1,550 per calendar month. So it is. To be honest, it's not even a lot. It's pretty much the prices today. We are very central. There's no underground here. It's the overground, but it's very central. And if you work in the city, you know, it's very, very convenient. So let me show you the river. And you might see a lot of police boats here because that's the police museum here. The Thames Police, the River Police, was created in 1798, so way before the normal Metropolitan Police. That is because we had a lot of crime on the river, a lot of piracy, and all types of crimes actually. The Dockland area was very busy. When they created the actual docks in Victorian times, we're talking about 8 square mile of docks and warehouses with a lot of expensive goods, you know, tea, rum, sugar. So there was a lot to steal, and we always had pirates stealing some of the goods. And that's 50 between friends. Yeah. And so yeah, that's why the Thames police, the river police, the marine police, they're called, they were created before the actual normal police. It doesn't mean that they only dealt with stuff on the river. They actually, some of you might remember the Ratcliffe Highway murders in 1811. We talked about that when we came around here when I did the tour about Mary Jane Kelly, because she sadly sold her body around here in the docks. And the Ratcliffe Highway were a very shocking series of murders in 1811. So that was before the normal Metropolitan Police was created. So the Marine Police actually helped with that case. Although it's still a bit of a mystery today. Someone was caught, but we don't know for sure whether it was indeed the guilty party. Anyway, there's another pub here in the middle, so that's the Captain Kidd pub. That one is not as old. That one is Victorian, I think, named after Captain Kidd, one of the most famous pirates of history, really. Let me show you the fun box, because I quite like the commercial. Ta-da! I don't know if you've had to watch a commercial before my tour, but I tried to watch my own tour the other week, and I was bombarded by ads for the Monopoly Go game. So anyway, we've just finished the Monopoly game at McDonald's. I didn't win anything. And so this is the Captain Kidd, beautiful pub. So Captain Kidd was... well, some might argue that he was never a pirate. He was indeed executed for piracy. He was originally from Dundee. He was the son of he was the son of a widow that was the widow of a sailor. And originally he worked as a privateer. So the difference between the privateers and the pirates, it's not that different. Trained really for anything else, so a lot of them continued. But piracy was a terrible crime, of course. So the ones that were caught, they were executed here. They were dealt with by the Admiralty. The Admiralty did not have any land, so they dealt with the pirates at sea, or whatever is closer to the sea, the River Thames. So they'll wait for the tide to be down. The Thames River is tidal. We'll go down the beach area because it's low tide at the moment. I checked the tide before to schedule this. And I can hear a vehicle. Let me go back to the pavement. And so they'll wait for the... which is not called the Ratcliffe Highway. Are we saying? So to watch with he used to have his it's the overground, so you could go down towards Peckham and south, or you could go up towards Shoreditch. So it's not the underground, so that's why it's expensive here, but it's not that expensive. Oh, you've lost the signal. Oh, are we back now? Is it just you down, or did anyone else lose me for a bit? If you did lose me, let me know. I could repeat what I was saying. Okay, cool. I hope you did not miss much. I might just tell you again in a moment. I was talking about the pirate executions, but cool. So this is going down the tunnel. So we're talking about the Brunel Tunnel. We might have spoken about the Brunel Tunnel in my tours before, when we were at Kensal Green Cemetery, or when we were at Rotherhithe. So that's basically the first tunnel under navigating waters. It was created by Mark Brunel and his son Isambard Kingdom Brunel, and it was not built to be used for the London transport. It was built to be well. Actually, it ended up being a tourist attraction, really, because they wanted to have some approaches for the horses to go down, but they never built it. Anyway, we have a property right across the street, and again, an estate agent. This one, let me make sure I don't say anything wrong. Okay, so we're looking for a monthly rent for a 2-bedroom flat. It's actually a decent price. 2-bedroom, right here, right in front of the station. Let me show you the photos. 2 bedrooms. How much would you pay? Monthly rent. Oh, the Rotherhithe tunnel, yeah, I never did it again. So it's a different tunnel, but yeah, the Rotherhithe, especially not on foot or not on a bicycle, it's extremely polluted, it's only for cars. So this one is a 2-bedroom, so 2-bedroom. Laurie, you're not too far, it's a little bit less. Michelle, you're not too far either, a little bit more. Roberta, you are the closest so far. So 2-bedroom, monthly rent. Ooh, Rose, you're quite close as well. You guys are getting really good at this game. Let me show you the answer. 2,300. It is a lot, but to be honest, it's not that much, knowing the prices. Right. Oh, well done, Rose. Right, let's go. So yeah, we were talking about pirates. Captain Kidd, by the way, when he was hanged twice because the rope actually broke, so they had to hang him again. Usually the pirates, they would spend a bit of time at Marshalsea prison before to be executed, and often they were given a half a pint of beer on their way to the gallows, but they were probably given much more. There's quite a few accounts of things, and even when you do store water, stagnating water for a while, it's very dangerous. And he was gibbeted. A gibbet is like a metal cage in which for 3 years. 3 years, would you believe? Anyway, I think the rain has stopped for now, so I'm going to get rid of the umbrella. Bear with me 1 sec. I'm just going to put it here if I can. And I've got a property across the street. If I remember right, it is a 2-bedroom flat for sale. And I think this one is a leasehold. So when you have a leasehold, you basically, you do buy, but you don't really buy forever. It's usually 90 years. So let me show you so I don't say anything. Yeah, so 2-bedroom to buy. So you're looking to buy a 2-bedroom flat here. Bear in mind on the other side you have an amazing river view. Share a home to buy this one. Remember, 2.5 says Trish. Well. It's not much compared to the few that we'll see in a moment, but I'm guessing it's because of the leasehold. Okay, let's go a bit further. So yeah, piracy. The golden age of piracy was between the 1650 to the 1720s. But when I say pirates, I'm not only talking about the pirates in the Caribbean, There were some of that, but anyone stealing from a boat, even if it was on the River Thames here, in the docks, they were also called pirates, and the punishment was exactly the same. They'll be hanged as well. They'll wait for the tide to be down. They'll place the gallows on the beach area, and they'll hang them there. And there's a lot of myth about pirates in general. But they were an interesting bunch. A lot of the pirates actually were gay, which is it's rather interesting. But you know, those guys were outlaw. Those guys were taking the risk to be hanged anyway, and of course at the time being homosexual was illegal in most countries in Europe. So once they were at sea on a boat with no ladies anyway, there were hardly any ladies apart from Bonnie and Reed. And apparently quite a few men were actually engaging in gay relationship. They actually even had the first gay wedding. It was called matelotage. For a sec. I've lost you for a sec. Hopefully we are back now. So yeah, that's what it would have looked like at the time, those loophole doors. So you had those men grabbing the goods. Oops, I've lost quite a few of you, so I'm guessing the signal is probably quite bad. Are we back now? Can you hear me properly? Can you see properly? Because I've got two properties in this one here, but if I have to move, I can move. No. Let me know in the chat if we are back, if you can hear me well. Okay, perfect. Good. So, I've got a property in this building here. It is a fairly expensive one. It's a 2-bedroom flat, and you have a share of the freehold, whatever that means. It's basically, it's not fully yours forever, but you have a share of the freehold. Let me show you the photos of the inside. So 2-bedroom to buy, and the deco is quite cool. You can clearly see that it used to be a warehouse. You've lost me for 1 minute. It's a shame. I can try to repeat what I was talking about in a moment. Let's see. So how much would you pay for this one? To buy, we're looking to buy a 2-bedroom flat with a beautiful view and a beautiful living room. How much would you buy this one for? I don't know if I've lost the chat because I'm not getting any guesses. Oh, perfect. 3 million, says Trish. Mike says nearly 1 million. 1.2 says Ronnie Lynn. 2.5 says down. 800k says Michelle. It's much more, but actually there's so much discrepancy between the flats here. Right, let's go a bit further. So I think you've lost me for a minute. So I was talking about matelotage, those type of gay weddings. So just in case that's what you've missed, some historians would argue that those weddings were not actually sexual, that they were more in case of inheritance, you know, in case one of the pirates were to die, the other one could get their treasures and their inheritance and take care of their funeral costs. And, you know, we will never know. There's only one historian that wrote a big book about those gay pirates, so it's quite hard to tell. And also, if you end up Googling gay pirates, be careful what you look at on the internet, because there's a lot of LGBTQ plus content creators that have kind of exaggerated things. Yes, there were definitely some gay pirates, but it probably was not everyone on those boats. And look at this building here. That one is quite interesting because they've, it's clearly quite a new building. Well, it looks new to me, but they've still integrated those old loophole doors and those cranes as well, just to match their colleagues, I suppose, or their neighbors, I should say. Anyway, in this building here, we've got two flats with very, very different price. The first one, let me check so I don't say anything wrong. The first one is a 2-bedroom flat to buy, 2-bedroom to buy. And this one has, it's usually 90 years. That is actually a good price. How much would you have? And it's looking quite good inside. 2-bedroom. I'll let you guess. Not getting any guesses yet, so I'm guessing the chat is a bit slow today. I hope I've not lost you again. So 2 bedrooms to buy. How much would you? 1 million. You love this one? Yeah, I quite like the interior. You're not too far, Suzanne. You're not too far. 1.5 says down. 1.3 says Mike. Well, let me show you the answer. Ta-da! So it's actually quite cheap, 850. There might not be that many more years on the lease. They often don't tell you how long exactly the lease is, so it's quite hard to guess when you don't know. But yeah, much cheaper than I would expect. And we have another one in the very same building, but this one is a 3-bedroom, 3 bathrooms as well, and you get a share of the freehold. Again, whatever that means. It's still the same building, it's all Merchant Court. So how much would you pay for this beautiful 3-bedroom, 3 bathrooms, 2 different balconies to buy? So we're looking to buy. And again, you get a share of the freehold, so that should mean expensive. And it looks quite bright as well. Suzanne, well done. Tish says 30 millions. Mike, you're very close as well. Well, you know what, Suzanne, you were spot on. It is indeed 2 millions. Oh, Sandrine, you're not too far either. Before. So yeah, 2 millions. Now, all this talk about pirates, let's go down to the beach. This beautiful pub here, it's the Prospect of Whitby. The Prospect was a ship that came from, you guessed it, Whitby. It was a ship that was moored here for a while, for so long actually that it became some kind of a local landmark. And they are fighting to get the title of the oldest pub on the south bank, on this bank of the river, on the north bank. It's debatable. We don't know exactly how old. Probably late 15th century or early 16th. We don't know. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go down to the beach area because the tide is down. If we lose the signal for a second, it's possible because it's such a small, tiny streets. And hopefully you'll get me back once we are on the riverside. If you do want to explore yourself and go down those little staircases, make sure you take your time. It can be very slippery. And there we go. Here is the beach. I know I have to be careful when I say beach, because I don't know how to tell the difference between beach and beach. There we go. You can see Canary Wharf in the distance. That's the beautiful terrace from the pub. And you can see a noose here, because they claim they might be the original spot for execution docks. So that's what we were talking about earlier, those pirates' executions. It is actually very much up for debate. Historians now believe that execution docks was probably closer to where we were earlier, to the town of Ramsgate pub, but we don't know. Canary Wharf buildings, they look beautiful at this time with the sun kind of still reflecting on their windows. And so yeah, the noose, let me show you the pub again. The noose, it's a short noose because they did not want their necks to be broken. They wanted the pirates to struggle, to be struggling for air, to struggle to breathe and to die, 20 minutes later, rather than having their necks broken and dying straight away. And the tide is down at the moment, but not fully down. Let me show you, actually, I took a screenshot of the tide timetables online. So don't mind the red dot because I took the screenshot at 12. But see, at 4:36 it was low tide. So when the tide is low, it can be very low. 1 meter on 40 centimeter, that's quite low. If we go lower than 1 meter on 10 centimeters, the Uber boats, they have to stop operating. So now it's 5:30, it's nearly 6, so it's gone up a bit. So it's not all the way down, but when the tide is up, there's no beach area at all. The tide goes all the way up till right under the balcony of the pub there. So much higher than it is now. And when the tide is down, you often get people searching in the mud. Yes, that's one. No, I thought I was looking for clay pipes, but I thought I found one. So you can quite often find some interesting items here. What is that? I'm not allowed to dig because I don't have a mudlarking license. So I'm allowed to come back here. Anyone is allowed. But if you want to search in the mud, you have to have a mudlarking license. And with COVID, it became a very popular hobby, and it's actually mission impossible to get a license now. Anyway, let's go back up. Let's say bye-bye to the noose. So it's a fake one, the original. We don't know the exact position. A lot of those pirates, they were at Marshalsea prison in Southwark. And that's why when they were struggling for air, some people called it the Marshall dance, because they came from Marshalsea. Oh, that's quite a good view. I'll show you inside the pub. It looks like a movie set. It's quite a cool pub. If you want an authentic pub experience when you come here, come to the Prospect of Whitby. Anyway, I've got one more beautiful flat for you. Right on the other side, and I'll show you the building. So it's in that building here, and it is, let me double check so I don't say anything wrong. Actually, let's go into their front garden so you can get a better view, because it's quite nice. It should be expensive, really. Which one is it? Is it this one? Yeah. So we are looking for a three bedroom, and it's a share of the freehold as well. And it's actually surprisingly cheap compared to the other one. I don't understand why I've got such a discrepancy between the prices today. So it's a beautiful 3-bedroom. Let me show you the photos. It is in this building here. So it's all the same block. And so lovely balcony, very bright inside, amazing view, and modern bathroom. How much would we pay? So we're looking to buy. And remember, you get a share of the freehold, so it's pretty much yours. I only just about understand the freehold and the leasehold. I don't understand what a share of the freehold is, really, but let's go along with it. down, you guys are really good. It's actually a tiny bit less, but you're pretty much spot on. Suzanne, Ronelyn, you are a little bit too high. But I can understand why you'd say that, because if you compare to the last one, we should be looking for the same type of prices, really. Trish, you're not too far either. Let's give it a minute in case we get more guesses. Okay, let me show you the answer. Oh, Roberta, I think you're the closest so far. 925,000. So that's not bad. Not that I could afford it anytime soon, but it's not too bad compared to what we've seen so far. Anyway, let's go towards the Shadwell Bassin so I can finally tell you why I've taken you here connected to Waterworks. By the way, here it's part of the, this is not, it's actually private. Hello.
Hi there.
So no, I'm just laughing because I'm wondering if that gentleman was coming to tell me off. Because where I was standing earlier was it's not a public right of way. It's actually they open it at daytime, but it's actually private. Anyway, I took you here today because this is an hydraulic power station. So I had to find something connected to water work. So this is quite literally water work. Not anymore. It closed in I think it's 1977. It was one of the latest hydraulic power station ever. And it's the London Hydraulic Company that created it. It's 1890, I think, this one. And the hydraulic power would have been used to power the cranes, the capstan, the bridges, the lock gates around here, and the swing bridge. We'll go and take a look straight ahead of us. It was powered by the hydraulic power. Now, if you don't understand what hydraulic power is, neither do I really. But it's basically, you know, if you press water. Like if you have a syringe full of gas, you can actually condense it a bit. You can press it and it doesn't have to come out. If you press a syringe with liquid inside, it's going to have to come out. You know, the pressure, it's actually Blaise Pascal, he's a French mathematician. So the pressure is going to have to come out. And you can actually press water on a tiny entrance, and it's going to have to. So with the power of water, you can basically lift up or push up or move quite heavy things like this bridge here. It doesn't really open much today because, it doesn't open at all today because there's no need. But at the time of the docks, it had to lift up to let those very large boats come through with cargo, and that was actually powered with the hydraulic power. So was the Tower Bridge. The iconic Tower Bridge was also hydraulic. I'm just coming here to show you the view, so that's quite cool. So this is the entrance to the Shadwell Bassin, and you can see in the distance Canary Wharf, or the Isle of Dogs. Right, let's go and take a look at the bassin itself. It's I love the view at this time. It's perfect when it's not quite dark yet. So in the distance, straight ahead, that's where you have the city. So the city of London with all its skyscrapers and all these businesses. And my bicycle is still here, which is a good sign. And I'll show you the bassin itself. The Shadwell Bassin, by the way, you're not meant to swim. You can actually get a £500 penalty if you were to swim. People used to swim quite a lot. Actually, through the COVID lockdown, the first one, my flatmates used to come here a lot to swim. See those little white cages in the water? This is for a sport, I don't know how you call it, it's like water basketball. They are on a kayak. Oh, you've got the basketball thing at the back, see behind the thing? So that's for the ball. So it's basically with a ball on kayaks, and they have those targets there to put the ball into. And I don't know how it's called. Yeah, we've got some swans. They're not playing basketball, but they are here. So you're not meant to swim. It's not because the water is contaminated, it's actually quite okay, but it's because of the industrial past of this area. Under the water, you can still find some piece of mechanism, some piece of metal. And actually in July, what year would have it? After the first lockdown, so July in 2020, that would be, there's a young boy from the Camberwell College of Art that jumped here and he killed himself. Well, he didn't kill himself, but he died because of exactly this type of accident. So after that, they introduced a big fine. You still see people swimming, but you shouldn't really. And actually, one of the flats, I don't know whether it's the first flat or if it's the one I'm showing you now. It's a flat share. But on the ad, they actually put, 2 minutes from the Shadwell Bassin, great for swimming. It's illegal. Don't put it on the ad. Anyway. And if you see the church there, the church spire, this is St. Paul's Church. Their most famous parishioner was probably Captain Cook, Captain James Cook's. He lived around here. So did Captain Bligh. He lived around here, the one from the mutiny on the Bounty. But I don't know if he came to that church or a different one. Anyway, I've got a last flat for you before we go. Can I go on the? Yeah, I'm gonna go on the pier here. Why not? It's beautiful at this time. It's basically straight ahead. I'm not gonna put my finger in the frame because you're probably taking some screenshots. But basically straight ahead in the corner of the bassin there, you would dip your toe in the Thames, but never mind swim. I have, technically this is connected to the Thames, but it's not really the Thames because, well, it is connected, but yeah, it's a bit cleaner than the river itself. Although the Thames is not meant to be dirty. You can swim in the Thames, but a bit more like Oxford and stuff, not so much here. Although I know a few people that have done it. The Thames looks very dirty today because of the tide, because it kind of moves all the mud at the bottom, so it looks a bit brown, but actually today it's fairly clean. It has a long history though of being very, very dirty, but today it's fairly clean. Look at the moon. I love this time of the day when you still have a bit of sunlight and the moon is here. Anyway, last property for you. So it is a flat share. I think if I remember right, it's only one flatmate, but you'd have to share the bathroom, you'd have to share the kitchen with a stranger. Let me show you the room, and we're looking for a monthly rent. How much would you pay monthly? So this is the room here, so single bed, but you probably have the space for a double bed. Nice living room. If you enjoy the company of your flatmate, otherwise you're locked in your room. That's the thing, you never know when you take a flat share, because people are lovely when you meet them, the first time, but actually living with them can be a very different story. Trish, you know what? I think you're spot on. So that was the first guess, and if I remember right, that's exactly spot on. I'll give it a few minutes because I might have some more guesses that were already typed down, but let me show you. Yeah, a little bit less, Mike. So there we go, 1,200. And again, that's exactly the prices. It's actually not bad. It's nowadays anywhere in London, if you want something decent in a flat share, if you want a decent room, it is £1,000. You could find cheaper, but you'd have something wrong. So a nice clean flat like this with only one flat share for 1,200, it's not bad, to be honest. And it's very central. It's very, very well located. Suzanne, yes, that's absolutely right. That is what they say. Although, you know, the Bazalgette sewage system, that it's next to the Thames. It was created by Joseph Bazalgette in Victorian times. It was designed to overflow into the river when, you know, in case of flood or anything like that. At the time, it was about twice a year. Nowadays, we're talking twice a week. That is why they're doing, they're working on the super sewer at the moment. So they're basically enlarging Bazalgette system. So it is clean, although technically we still have minor quantities of sewer going into the river. Sometimes you can smell it. Sometimes you, because I love going for river walks, it is rare, but sometimes you can smell it. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be the end of the tour. Thank you very much for joining me today. Sorry for the little signal drops. Hope that wasn't too bad. You don't like sharing the bathroom with the strangers? Yeah, that's my big... where I live at the moment, I've got my own toilet. I still have to share the shower with, well, technically 48 people, but we've got like 12 showers. But at least I've got my own toilet, because I had some terrible experiences. When I lived in Clapham Junction, let's not go into details, but the toilet seat was brown, so it was wooden, so you wouldn't notice if there was anything on the toilet seat. And yeah, no comments, but you can imagine. So yeah, I'm very glad I have my own toilet. Anyway, thank you for coming, guys. If any of you dropped me a little tip on PayPal or on Buy Me a Coffee, you are very much appreciated. And if you want to see a bit more of me, Saturday I'm taking you to Barnes, so that's a bit further. It's almost in Richmond, really. So that's gonna be a little tour on the riverbanks to tell you about a murder that I tried to tell you when we went to Wandsworth Prison, but then I had a signal drop, so I couldn't really tell you the full story. So I'll do a little tour there to tell you that. And I can hear some animal in the water, but I don't know what. And is it a Friday or Sunday? Sunday the 5th of November, I've rescheduled Guy Fawkes. So you'd have the story with me in London, but my colleague in York, John, is going to tell you the beginning of the story. So if you wanted to watch both, you'd have a continuity. I'll post all of that in my community. You know, on YouTube, you've got the community section. So I'll post a link to John's tour there as well if you wanted to look him up. I don't think he scheduled it yet, but I'll be posting there. And I'll be scheduling soon my tour in Gdansk in Poland. I'll be doing the little thumbnail tonight. Anyway, thank you guys. Have a great evening, or good morning, a good lunch, whatever time. Those are noisy swans. Cannot even see them, but I can hear them. Thank you for coming. See you soon. Keep YouTubing, and have a good one. Bye bye.